What's up, guys? It's the BMG Moc Daily back again today. As always, I'm super excited to be back. And today, it's been quite a while since I've last filmed a video, so it's really nice to be back. And I know I've built many Bag-End Mocs before, and this I feel like is my favorite of all of them, although it may not be the largest. But a little bit more news before we head into that build. Yes, I'm gonna hopefully start making more videos. Now, it may be restricted to once a week or possibly only a few times a month, but I'd like to keep making them, and over the course of the next month, I'll probably be making a few changes to how I make my videos, especially in this one, where instead of being in front of the camera, I'm behind it, and I felt like this could let me show you exactly what's in front of the camera a little bit better. So, without further ado, let's get straight into this Bag-End Moc. Alright, so I pulled Bilbo out in front just to show you a little bit more of the scale to this one. And even though this build isn't as large as my other ones, I tried to make this one the most realistic as I could. So, along with kind of the front of the build, I didn't really build it on base plates, although there are a few of the smaller base plates with the anti-studs on the bottom. And then kind of at the end of the build, I went along with this dirt path, because originally I was going to make a cobblestone path like I usually do, but in the movie, and I'm fairly certain the books, there's a dirt path running in front of his house, so I just decided to add a little fringe to the front of this build, just to show that little path. Now, there are a couple little Easter eggs and details throughout this build, including the little bench where he sits and smokes his pipe with Gandalf, and the little letter that says "No admittance except on party business" from The Lord of the Rings. He's got a couple flower pots. Now, I would have usually added more flowers in, but if you see in real pictures of this, there isn't that much floral design in his build of his house. And then there's obviously the circular door and a couple little circular windows throughout this build, and I really feel like this window turned out extremely well in this build. And then on the sides of the build, there's no windows. This side just has that little brown detailing, and then the other side actually fully wraps around with the green. I used a couple built tree pieces, that one there, and then this bush piece just upside down to make a little bit of a kind of bushy tree. There's a little wheelbarrow with a couple small pumpkins inside it, and of course this gate opens up to reveal the little stone slab pathway into Bilbo's home. And then this door obviously does open up, and I'll bring it around to the back so you can have a look at inside. One thing I wanted to point out, the tree on the top of this model is actually in the movie. There's one solitary tree with two branches sticking out, and I really like how that came together on the front of this build. So inside this build, it's a little dim, but that's because I used a dark brown. On the floor, I did want to, as you can see, I usually just had a green color, and I wanted to add a brown, but I felt like going around the whole thing with this dark brown would give it a really, really dark look. So here's Bilbo again, just for size comparison. The door, as you can see, opens up from the inside with a little doorknob on each side. Now, I was a little bit young when these sets came out to be buying Lego, so I don't have that original printed door piece that came with the original set. But then over here on his dinner table, there's a couple stickered wood kind of pieces, as well as a map, a little candle. There's a few candles around this build, including this little 5 candle kind of chandelier. I originally built this to be a chandelier that sat right there in the front of this build, which Gandalf knocks his head into when he enters Bilbo's home, but the door wouldn't open if I did place anything up on the roof there, so I just decided to add it in as a little detail on the side. Now over here, There's a couple other little candle pieces and some stickered elements. I believe this piece is actually a print, and it's a fairly old castle print of a little scroll, and I'm really happy that I have that in my collection, because that is a great piece to use on these more 16 or 1800s sets, which I believe is when J.R.R. Tolkien made this book in the early 1900s. Over here on the side, in my last Bag-End build, which I'm not sure if it was on this channel or not, I used the same bed, and I just I moved it over from that set. Usually a bed would have a 2x4 pillow and then a 4x4 bed frame, but then this one just has a 3x4 bed frame with the same pillow, just to make it a little bit smaller for Bilbo. And as we go a little bit farther around this set, I did add a couple little red rose pieces along that side of the house, although most of the flowers are that orange color. So I think that's it for this LEGO Bag-End build. It was a pretty fun experience building this one. I really started out the build with the door frame area, and then I just stuck that on some base plates and built everything around it. So thanks a lot for watching this video, guys. Please subscribe, and I guess I'll see you in the next video. This is BMD out.